Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised, and just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to Punk Droid.
The doctor is in, baby. This is Doc Blalock, and you're watching the Madness Comic Network.
Good afternoon, family, friends, freaks, and fiends. This is Writer's Block. Hey, holy cow, did you know that I don't just paint and draw? I'm also a writer. Hey, what's up, Flip City? What's up, Wayne Clingman? Good to see you guys. So, this is a short show. We're only going to go about 30 minutes. I'm coming at this from the perspective of an artist who is also a writer doing my own books. I've been writing all of my life. I think I started drawing and writing and painting at about the same time. So I'm here to answer any questions you may have for writing in general, or from the perspective of an artist who is also a writer. I'm also going to share with you a excerpt from my novella, A Damn Dirty Thing, which is the expansion on the comic book that's coming out here shortly. And this is a never before heard segment of the book, so you get a taste for how I write. So if you've got questions, drop them. I'll answer them. Pop starts us off with a question. Hey, Doc, is it easier to envision your story through art or words? This is going to sound like a dodge, but it's not. There's no difference in the mind of a person who's a writer and artist at the same time. You visually see the characters in your head, and then you create them both in prose in your mind, the way they talk, the way they walk, their likes, dislikes, whatever. Their whole personality begins to evolve, and then you're also visually creating them at the same time. I shared earlier on my show, Doc's Coffee Shop, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, this great story. A young writer reached out to Ernest Hemingway, wanting to know, could he give him some advice on writing? Hemingway, at that time, a huge superstar. Hemingway didn't just say, yeah, I'll do that for you. He said, no, you come go fishing with me. And fishing is not sitting on a dock, dropping a worm on a hook. He went deep sea fishing. Wayne's question is, what triggers a new book idea? For me, it always starts, and this has been my whole life, it starts with, I just hear dialogue, a snippet of conversation in my head, and I start exploring, well, who said that and why would they say it? Who's talking and who are they talking to? And that, of course, requires you to build the characters, and the characters need a place to live. That builds the scene. Well, why are they in this scene? That builds the story. And so then I just start writing from there. But Hemingway took this young man out on his boat, and he said, listen, the best advice I can give you is this. In order to write real people, real characters, believable characters into your books that have a compelling story, you must first learn to shut your mouth and listen. Go to the cafes, go to the coffee shops, hear what people are saying. You're not eavesdropping to be nosy. You want to hear, what are they saying? Why is it important to them? What emotion is attached to what they're saying? What is the setting? All of these great questions are going to answer themselves as you listen to people, as you interact with people. It's that old thing, man. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Close your blowhole and listen. Oh, let me see here. How big is your stack of ideas at various stages of development? They're like dominoes. One idea leads to the next. And I hope, as I'm working on the Jake Bishop series, that I don't run out of dominoes. I've written both. I've written professional papers when I was a counselor, but I much enjoy fiction. I enjoy it more. So I find that more enjoyable. Wayne, I know you write a lot of nonfiction, and you, the guys that do that, that dig into research and then convey that stuff, that is an entirely different skill set or mindset, same skill set, different mindset. And I have nothing but admiration for it. But it's not really something that I enjoy. I much more enjoy the freedom that fiction gives me. So, without further ado,
let me interrupt you for a second. You did not add in your destinations.
Okay.
I remember I sent you a message. If it didn't work, let me know and remove the other. You know what I mean? I want to make sure we're going to your Twitter.
It's not letting me.
All right, so let me kill 2 of these, and I'll fix that. I will fix that for you.
Okay, so can you add the others?
Yeah, I will get you. I just
all right.
Before you start reading that, I want to make sure you're going to your channel. All right.
So, I got you. Thank you for doing that, Pops. I appreciate you. Listen, you got to have the promoters that do their thing. are so important to what we do as creators. Flip City, I'm talking to you. Mr. Big, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to every creator out there, man. These guys that do the promoting, they don't get paid a dime for doing it. They just do it for the love of doing it. So support these guys any way you can. And we'll circle back to that, Pops, by the way.
Okay, now it should be going to your stuff. Thank you, my friend.
All
I just realized you hadn't.
All right, I
know.
appreciate
Next time, what we'll do is I'll have you come in as a guest. That way, you can add your destinations to all the other ones.
Okay.
I guess it's because you're an admin that we can't.
I
see
see.
what I'm saying?
I see. It thinks we're the same person. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I got you.
Peace.
All right. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm going to read you guys a segment or a sample from A Damn Dirty Thing. Is my volume okay? Can you guys hear me before I go into this? Let me know. I asked that because
maybe up a little bit, Doc. Maybe just a little.
Okay. I know you're having trouble with your audio, Pop, so I'm asking the chat too. I'll bump up just a bit here. All right. There we go. Okay. So without further ado, let me dive into this. This is from A Damn Dirty Thing. Money. It's always about the money. There was no movement in Morelli's official banking records, but there was absolutely no chance he was living low. Not Morelli. No. Wherever he had planted himself, he'd be living in luxury, and that means money. When the mob moved money off the books, they did it through shadow bankers. There was one such individual used by the Italians, the Irish, and the Russians, and God knows who else. Whitey Doyle. If you needed money moved off the books, Doyle was your man. He operated out of a legitimate pawn shop in the business district of Iron Heights. Doyle's was the place to go if you were a whisper away from ruin, where the last shreds of dignity could be pawned for a breath of borrowed time. I park around the corner and wait. For this to work, I have to be sure that Santos still has some of his boys keeping an eye on me. I smoke a cigarette before finally getting out of the car. I walk past the pizza place and the liquor store that sells lottery tickets before entering the innocuous storefront. Two suits stand opposite in the shade of an awning over the entrance of a shoe store. Good. Inside, the shelves are filled with radios, data types, electronics, and collectibles. The walls hold rows of musical instruments. A glass counter encases glittering ranks of gold and silver rings, each of them a testimony to heartbreaks and breakups. Behind the glass counter were racks of rifles and pistols, and a 4-foot-tall Dolores. Well, Jake Bishop, how the hell are you, boy? If asphalt could talk, it would sound like Dolores. She was Whitey's sole employee and the only muscle the place needed. Her face, wrinkled and tanned, is adorned by too much makeup in a vain attempt at preserving a youth long departed. Her hot pink blouse and skirt, pearls and pumps, ridiculous on anyone else, are perfectly natural to her. Hiya, Dolores. Is he in? I smile in spite of myself. This old battle axe had sent more than one shoplifter or troublemaker to the hospital with lead in him. Yeah, he's in the back balancing the books. She wags a skeletal, nicotine-stained finger at me. But don't you be causing no trouble, Jake Bishop. Relax, Dolores. I'm not here for trouble. Just talk. She casts a gimlet eye and pushes a button under the counter. There's a buzzing sound and the door marked private opens. Thanks, doll. I know the way. Aged floorboards creak under my feet as I pass row after row of shelves piled high with pawned goods. This place smells old and musty. The only light streams in through windows high on the wall to my right, dancing through beams of perpetual dust. Doyle's private office is as luxurious as decades of collecting the forfeited collectibles of the desperate could provide. An opulent space more suited to Beacon Hill than a downtown pawn shop, a decadence of comfort. Doyle got his nickname, Whitey, for his thick coif of snow-white curls, not for his Hollywood tan or movie star mustache. Hello, Doyle, I greet, plopping down in one of the thickly padded maroon leather chairs opposite his oversized mahogany desk. He closes the topside data type and ledger he's been working on and leans back in mild surprise. Jake Bishop, he returns the greeting with thinly veiled disdain. How can I help you? Wanted to talk a little business, I reply. Unless you're looking to pawn that ridiculous fedora, we have no business. He smiles, lighting a thin cigar with a jeweled lighter. I like my hat. Of course, forgive my sarcasm. How can I help you? He repeats. Well, Doyle, it's like this. I'm hunting Morelli, and he's gone to ground somewhere. Having a hell of a time getting a bead on him, too. I did some checking, and he's not moving money out of his personal accounts. I lean forward with my elbows on his desk, fixing him with my stare. We both know he ain't holed up in some roadside shithole, so that means he's getting funds. I reach over and use Doyle's expensive lighter on my cheap cigarette. There's some cheap philosophy for you. What would make you think I know anything about that? He bluffs coolly. Don't play dumb, Doyle. Everyone knows you're the cookie pusher for the outfit. What you're going to tell me is where are you sending the funds? Now you're the one being foolish if you think I would help you, he retorts. Any possible dealings I might have with alleged clients are confidential. Geez, Doyle, less than 5 minutes with you and I already feel like pasting you a few just to take the edge off a crummy afternoon. I begin to rise. Whitey recoils in his chair at the same moment. I hear the hammer being pulled back on a pistol. Don't you lay a finger on him, Dolores says from the doorway, a huge 45 in her tiny hand. I told you, no rough stuff. I sit back down and smile. You're right, Dolores. There's no need to get messy. Doyle relaxes somewhat as I flick ashes on his expensive rug. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell me what I want to know, and I'll walk out of here looking disappointed. Or you'll keep quiet, and I'll walk out of here celebrating. What? He breathes. Yeah, you see, 2 of Morelli's boys watched me come in here. They'll know what we talked about. If you hold out on me, well, I'll just let the street choir sing any song they like about our little meeting. Not my fault if they get the wrong idea. What the outfit thinks about a rat holding their money is none of my business. It's Dolores who responds. Bishop, that's just plain mean. So's having your friends blown up, I reply, hotter than I intended. But it has the desired effect. Dolores uncocks her heater and lowers it. You know we had nothing to do with any of that ugliness. No, but your client did. I'm going to get him one way or the other, Doyle. How you come out of it all is entirely up to you. Damn you, Bishop. Hey, all right. So that was it's hard to do the voice for an extended period of time. Hey, Carrie. Hello, Kirby. Hello, Fanta. So I hope you guys enjoyed that excerpt from A Damn Dirty Thing. I think I did that okay. I may even clip that and save it. I'm doing an audiobook of A Damn Dirty Thing for people just like Fanta. Fanta has challenges with her eyesight. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do an audiobook. Yeah, doing the voices are hard. Dolores almost became Crom there, Pops, for a minute. Yeah. Just back it already. So anyway, yeah, I point out, and this is not patting myself on the back, but you will have heard in there, I try to touch on the when, the where, describe what's going on, the sights, the sounds, the smells, all of it. The more of the senses you can appeal to when you're writing fiction, the more your world becomes real. Yeah, I've already answered that one, Pops. And that one. So yeah, I try to write the character. You want to empathize with him. You want to feel what he's feeling. Particularly, you'll notice that was written first person present tense. Yeah. Thank you, Fanta. I appreciate you. First person present tense, and it can be tricky. You got to watch yourself because you'll want to, even when you're writing and you're sticking with first person, many times you want to write in past tense or past perfect. You can't do that. Once you start one way, you have to stick with it. And I've had to catch myself, go back and edit several times, like, whoops, I did it there. So a consistent voice throughout. And the other part is you want to give the reader enough to immerse them and bring them along for the ride, but you don't want to spoon feed them everything, like you should really feel outraged for this character right now because this horrible thing was done, or you should feel elated right now because this wonderful thing happened. You just stick to the story and you allow them to experience it from their own subjective point of view. Is it harder to write for a male or a female character? There's really, to me, I don't have any difficulty writing for women, men, kids, senior citizens. It's all about how much empathy do you have. It goes back to what Hemingway, the advice he gave to the young man that wanted to be a writer. Listen to the world around you, and they will provide you with the voices that you need. What's a good tip for getting past writer's block? Just write. Same for painting. I have a video on my fine art channel, Christopher Blalock Fine Art, on artist block and whatever. Just start painting. Just start writing. Even if what comes out at first is complete crap, eventually your God-given talent and your brain will kick in and you'll find your groove. It's been many times I just sat down and started writing, and it could be garbage. That's fine. That's what the backspace button's for. That's what delete is for. If you're painting, that's what gesso is for. If you're doing a comic book, that's what whiteout is for. Just start doing the work. What won't happen is this thing that people call inspiration or motivation. I get it. I get that feeling when, I got to get this onto paper. I understand that feeling, but that's just a feeling. This is a job. If you're a writer or an artist, it's your job. You go to work whether you feel like it or not. So it's not about your feelings. If you have the talent and you have the knowledge and the skill set to do it, you just get to work. Yeah, 80s music and caffeine here. Now, that brings up, what else do you need besides, a typewriter or paper or computer, whatever? What else do you need? You need good coffee. You need good music. You need a good environment. I need my cigarettes, and I need to be left alone so that I can work. Now, I don't mind, like when I'm painting, I've done public painting for so long. I'm used to having people come and talk to me while I'm painting. Doesn't bother me a bit, but when I'm writing, I need to be alone. I need to be in my own zone, and a cat to edit. Yeah. But yeah, let me give you an example on the music thing. When I'm writing Pariah, I have a Pariah playlist of songs. The Lady Wore Black by Queensryche, Shot in the Dark by Ozzy. But when I'm writing Jake Bishop, I'm listening to noir jazz, saxophone, rainy night, gritty jazz music. So that's what I use. Do I have someone I like to bounce stuff off of? Unfortunately, no. I have you guys. I have the chat. I have friends in the community, but it's not always easy to burden someone with, will you please listen to what I wrote or read what I wrote? And I'm guilty of it too. I've had people send me stuff and go, will you read my manuscript or whatever and get back to me? And I say, sure, yeah. And then I mean well, but I may read a page of it and then my editor brain kicks in and I want to start editing it instead of just reading it. Fanta says, I have trouble putting what I see into my paper. Any suggestions? Yeah, just write. Just write. It'll come. If I write a paragraph describing a scene and it's not exactly what I want, but it's got the bones of what I want, I can go in and reflesh it. I can change the wording. I can change this. I can change that. And it's almost like sculpting in clay. You put some there, you take it away, you put some there, you take it away, and eventually you end up with what you want. Gable Penny Shot in the house. What's up, Gable? Gable says, want a Fanta. I mean, you know, everybody wants them some Fanta, Gable. Get in line. So, yeah, writing is not a science. Oh, for drawing, it's again, though, it is the same thing. Repetition and practice. And as you move along, be willing to listen to the feedback of artists that you respect. Not just critics who throw hate, but show your work. Like in the fine art world, I go and paint with friends that are painters, and we call each other out. You know, dude, did you really mean for that to happen over there? And like, oh, you're right. Same thing with drawing. You know, when John Dillard asks, hey, Doc, why do you hate comic books? Because he doesn't like a panel I did. I take that seriously. I'm like, okay, he's right. I'm wrong. Let me put more work into this panel. Flip City says, we read everything people send us except novels. Well, I was going to send you a novel, Flip. Cat is a major distraction. I know that the whole reason when I first retired in 2018 or 19, I forget when, it was, ooh, great. I can just wake up with my coffee, come back here. And this is a painting studio. Everything in here is set up for painting. So I'd get back there and I'd start painting. And, oh, it was great, man. So drink my coffee, listen to my music, have a good time. But there's no one to talk to. And you start to go freaking crazy. You start asking the dog for his opinion of your art. And the problem is he starts providing it. That's when you know you got to get out of the house. Now, doing comic books is a lot more social. We have backstage hangouts where we talk to each other. We compare work. We talk. And we have a good time doing that. And it's very valuable. Kirby knows what I'm talking about. You know, Kirby's over in Japan. Not a lot of American artists living next door that speak English and that do comic books. So he's in the community and we all support one another, help one another. We talk, we laugh, we cut up, we give each other shit. That community, that fellowship of artists that you hang out with, be it writers, painters, illustrators, inkers, whatever. It's a good thing to surround yourself with like-minded talent, with people that you can respect. So there's a lot of good to come out of that too. All right. If you missed it, I read a good long section of A Damn Dirty Thing. Go back and listen to it. You'll enjoy it, I hope. Kirby, ride wife, wife fight back, kill wife, think about wife, regret. This is
Isn't that a Guns N' Roses song about a dog?
It's almost a haiku. It's an inside joke between me and Kirby. Regret.
Good shit, Doc. That was good. That's why I like it. And I have an announcement for you for next week's show.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Christgau.
Oh, right. Brian Christgau, a real writer, will be here next week.
Yes. So
Kirby, share the link to that if you can find it. But yeah, Brian Christgau is one hell of a writer, super nice guy, super smart and knowledgeable. I look forward to watching him here in this spot next week at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday. You can follow me, Doc Blalock, on YouTube. I'm the only Doc Blalock there. On the Twixter, I'm at Doc Blalock 8404. And you will, there's the link, Fanta, if you want to know what that was about. You can follow me over there. In the meantime, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your participation. And I hope I had something helpful to say to someone that'll get you where you want to go.
And if you're a writer and you want to be a guest host on this show, hit us up, man. I'd love to get all you guys out here and let the fans have a chance to ask you their questions. You know,
Fanta, do me a favor and clip the excerpt that I read and post it out there for me if you don't mind. I don't know how to clip and do all that. You do.
He said, "Get to work." Next thing you know, he's going to have a spot in the basement for you too.
I can't put her down over there with Carol. Carol broke her leg. Broke Fanta's leg. Damn it. All right,
Hey, you know, separate cages. You know, you can figure
Pops, thank you for having me out on the show.
You bet. You bet.
I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right, I'm just going to play a couple of more of our beautiful sponsor ads. One of them right here, two of them are right here in the chat. We're going to play both of them back to back. We're going to start with Bugsy. Bugsy.
Glamorized and embraced by Hollywood, feared in the underworld, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel was one of the most powerful men in America. He was also one of the most hated. The man who gave birth to Las Vegas was gunned down in the luxurious home of his glamorous lover. Almost 80 years later, his murder remains unsolved. Who killed Bugsy?
Definitely make sure you tune in next week when Brian Christgau will be in.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Critical Blast Logistics,